Here's the scene. You walk in your front door after wiring the last $2,400. $40,000 total. 18 months of side contracts, weekend security assessments, overnight facility audits, jobs you took on top of your own business to pay off your wife's parents' debt. Every penny. You're tired. Good tired. The kind where you think, I did something solid today. Then you see it. A cardboard box on the doorstep. Your shadow box inside. Medals, unit patch, deployment photos. 15 years on that wall. Label in her handwriting. Garage, spring cleaning. Spring cleaning. In October. That's what happened to me. My name is Darnell Varner, and I'm standing in my own doorway in Wichita, Kansas, holding a box of everything I earned in 2 tours in Afghanistan like it's a bag of old clothes headed for Goodwill. I don't say a word. I carry the box inside, walk past Wanda in the kitchen, and set it on the dining table. Oh, you found that, she says without looking up from her phone. I'm reorganizing. The living room needs to feel more open. I look at the wall where the shadow box hung. There's a nail hole and a clean rectangle where the paint didn't fade. 15 years of sunlight working around that frame, and now there's just a ghost of it. The living room felt fine. I say, to you. She finally looks up. Not everything revolves around your army stuff, Darnell. I set my keys on the counter. Pick up the shadow box, carry it to the living room, and hang it back on the nail. It fits perfectly. Of course it does. It never moved until today. Wanda watches from the kitchen doorway. I can feel her staring. I don't turn around. You're being dramatic, she says. I'm hanging a picture. Let me tell you about Wanda and me. 14 years married. I'm 42, ex-army, 2 tours, came home whole, or close enough. I run a security consulting firm from the house. Quiet work, steady money, clients who trust me because I don't talk more than I need to. Wanda's 38, logistics coordinator, recently promoted to regional lead. New office, new title, new crowd she goes to happy hour with 3 nights a week. Somewhere in the last 6 months, she started looking at me like I'm furniture she hasn't gotten around to replacing. I remember the day she got that promotion. I made her favorite, blackened catfish, rice, the works. She came home glowing, kicked off her heels at the door, and kissed me with both hands on my face. I thought, this is good. She's growing. We're growing. That was March. By September, she stopped eating dinner at the table with me. Now it's texts. Leave me a plate. Every night. I cook. I set a plate in the microwave. I eat alone watching the backyard go dark. She comes home, reheats it, takes it to the living room. Sometimes I hear her laughing on the phone with Arlene Goodwin, our neighbor who's separating from her husband and comes over for wine like it's a prescription she needs to refill nightly. Thursday evening. I'm in the kitchen finishing the dishes when Wanda walks in. Did you call the insurance about your dad's claim? I ask. Normal question. Her father had a fender bender 2 weeks back, asked us to follow up with the adjuster. She erupts. Why do you always interrogate me? I had a 12-hour day, Darnell. You sit here in your home office playing soldier and then grill me the second I walk in? I blink. I asked one question. It's not the question, it's the tone. You always have this tone, like you're running a briefing. You know what? Never mind. She grabs a glass of water, turns her back. That's when I see it. Her phone, propped against the cookbook on the counter. Camera facing me. Red light on. She's recording. My hands go still in the dishwater. I look at the phone. I look at her back. She doesn't know I've seen it. Here's what 20 years of military training teaches you that nothing else does. When someone is trying to provoke you, the worst thing you can do is react. The absolute worst. Because your reaction is the product. Your reaction is what they need. I dry my hands on the kitchen towel, walk to the porch, sit on the top step. The October air hits my face, and I just breathe for a while. Crickets. A car passing 2 streets over. The hum of the air conditioner clicking off. What I don't do is ask her about the phone. Not yet. Because something about this doesn't feel like a fight between spouses. It feels like a setup. Saturday. Arlene brings over a woman named Margot Upchurch. Introduces her as a life coach she's been working with through her own separation. Margot has a firm handshake and a way of scanning a room like she's mentally pricing the furniture. Your wife tells me you work from home, Margot says, settling into my couch like she's been invited to Thanksgiving dinner. I do. That can create a lot of pressure on a relationship. One partner always present, always watching. It shifts the balance. Wanda needs a partner, not a sergeant. I look at Wanda. She's nodding, serious, appreciative, like a student watching a professor validate her thesis. Interesting, I say. What's interesting? Margot tilts her head. Practiced curiosity. That you know what my wife needs better than I do after one conversation. Wanda cuts in fast. See? This is exactly what I'm talking about. He can't handle any feedback. Everything becomes an argument. Margot watches me. She's waiting for the escalation, the raised voice, the defensive posture. I recognize the look from debriefings. Someone assessing whether the subject is about to crack. I stand up, walk to the kitchen, and start wiping down counters. Give her nothing. Not a word. Not a look. Not a clenched fist. Margot watches me from the living room for a full minute before turning back to Wanda. But I'm watching too. And I'm starting to see a pattern that has nothing to do with spring cleaning. The following weekend, neighborhood barbecue at the Hendersons' place, 3 houses down. I'm standing by the grill, talking to a couple of guys about the Fordham basketball run. Nobody saw that coming, and the brackets are a mess. Wanda is at the patio table with Arlene and 2 other neighbors. I hear her voice carry across the yard, deliberately loud. Arlene's ex knew how to have fun. At least he showed emotion. Darnell just sits there like he's still on base. Someone laughs. Not everyone, but enough. The guy next to me, Henderson, shifts uncomfortably. He heard it. Everyone at the grill heard it. I set down my plate. Good talking to you, I tell Henderson. Walk to my truck, drive to the VFW hall on North Broadway. Otis Chisholm is there, like always, big man, quiet voice, hands like catcher's mitts. We serve together at FOB Shank. 2 tours, same rotation. You look like you need a beer and a bad hand of cards, Otis says. Just the cards. We play spades for an hour. I don't talk about Wanda. Otis doesn't ask. That's how it works with guys like us. You don't need to narrate the wound. You just sit next to the man who has won, and that's enough. But when I get home and come in through the side door, I hear something that stops me cold in the hallway. Wanda and Arlene, wine glasses in hand, settled deep into the couch. Arlene is mid-sentence. Document everything, Queen. Every reaction, every argument. Margot says you need at least 3 months of material before you even think about filing. Wanda laughs. He paid my parents' debt like I should throw him a parade. $40,000, and he walks around like I owe him my soul. That's his job. That's what husbands do. Girl, exactly, Arlene says. And when the time comes, you'll have everything you need. Margot's handled this before. I stand in the hallway, my back against the wall. My shadow box is 6 feet away in the living room. I can see my own face in the deployment photo from here, 24 years old, sunburned, skinny, standing in front of a Humvee I spent 3 days living in. That kid survived things this hallway will never know about. I go to bed. Don't sleep. Stare at the ceiling fan going around and around. But I don't react. Because reacting is what she's counting on. Monday morning. I call Trudy Jennings. Trudy's been my friend since we were 12, grew up 3 blocks apart in the same neighborhood, stayed close through everything. She's a paralegal in Topeka now, sharp as anyone I've ever met. Something's off with Wanda, I tell her. I need your ear. Off how? Calculated. She picks fights over nothing, the thermostat, the way I park in the driveway, dishes in the sink. And every single time, her phone appears somewhere in the room, angled toward me. On a shelf. On the counter. Inside the fruit bowl. Long silence on Trudy's end. Then, Darnell, are you telling me she's recording you during arguments? Every one of them. Fingerprints on the phone case, always fresh. Always repositioned right before she starts something. Don't do anything. Don't confront her. Don't even change your routine. I need to make a call. I know a family attorney who's seen this kind of thing before. Can you hold steady for a couple days? Trudy, holding steady is the only thing I've done for the last 3 months. The week crawls. Tuesday, Wanda complains that the thermostat is set too low, says I'm doing it on purpose to make her uncomfortable. I adjust it without a word. The phone is on the bookshelf. Wednesday, she says the kitchen smells like garlic from last night's dinner, asks if I'm trying to stink up the whole house. I open a window. The phone is on the microwave. Thursday, my boots are by the front door. You live like you're still in barracks, Darnell. The phone is propped inside the fruit bowl, lens peeking between 2 bananas. Every time, I catch the tiny red light. Every time, I give her nothing. 3 words, for words, then I leave the room. And every time, I see the frustration tighten around her mouth, the slight flare of her nostrils when my calm refuses to crack. She's casting a line over and over, and the fish won't bite. But she hasn't figured out why yet. Thursday night, late. I'm in bed, almost asleep, when Wanda comes in and sits on the edge of the mattress. The hallway light is on behind her. I can see her silhouette, but not her face. "Are you awake?" she asks. "Now I am. I want you to know that I still love you. I know things have been tense, but I'm still here, Darnell. I'm still your wife." Something in her voice sounds real. Not the wine night Wanda, not the Margot-coached Wanda. Just a woman sitting on a bed in the dark, saying words that used to mean something. My chest tightens. "I know," I say. "Do you still love me?" "Go to sleep, Wanda." She sits there another 30 seconds. Then she gets up and goes to the guest room. And I lie in the dark thinking, what if I'm wrong? What if the phone recordings are just paranoia, and Arlene's just a bad influence, and Wanda's genuinely lost and scared, and I'm treating her like an enemy combatant? That thought keeps me up until 2. Then I remember the phone in the fruit bowl, the red light, the way she repositions it every single time before she starts something. No, I'm not wrong. Friday evening. Wanda comes home, and the temperature shifts. She's softer. She sets her bag down gently, comes into the kitchen where I'm seasoning chicken thighs, and stands close enough that I can smell her perfume, the one she used to wear when we went out, not the office one. "That smells amazing," she says. She hasn't commented on my cooking in months. She touches my arm. Light, almost tentative. I miss this. Us. Just being together in the kitchen, you know? The way it used to be. I look at her, and for a moment, one real, honest moment, I see the woman I married. The one who used to sit on the counter while I cooked and steal pieces of bell pepper off the cutting board and grin at me with her chin in her hand. Something in my chest cracks open, and I want to believe this is real so badly, it almost hurts. You know that feeling when the person you love says exactly the right thing, and every alarm in your head is screaming, but your heart doesn't care? "Yeah." I say. "Yeah." She leans against the counter. "I've been so stressed with the new position. All the late nights, the travel. I know I've been hard on you, and I'm sorry. I really am." I almost set down my guard. Almost reached over and pulled her close the way I used to, forehead to forehead, the way that used to make her laugh and say, "You smell like cumin." Almost. Then I catch the reflection in the microwave door. Her phone, tucked inside the fruit bowl behind me. Red light on. She's recording the apology too. Sweet Wanda, mean Wanda, sweet again, building a narrative, constructing a pattern. Somewhere in the cycle, she expects me to crack. The apology isn't for me. It's for whoever listens to these recordings later. "Thanks for saying that," I say. Flat. Controlled. I go back to the chicken. Her smile flickers, just a fraction, a micro-expression most people would miss. Then she recovers. "Want to open a bottle of wine? We haven't done that in forever." "I'm good." She hovers for another minute, then takes her plate to the living room. The performance is over. Saturday morning. Trudy calls. Her voice is different, tight, urgent. "Darnell, I need you to hear something." "Go ahead." I found a private Facebook group, women going through separations, sharing legal strategies, comparing notes. Wanda's in it. She posted 3 weeks ago. Trudy reads it to me word for word. "How long do recordings need to be for a restraining order? Asking for planning purposes." 14 likes. Arlene Goodwin's comment underneath. "Document everything, Queen." The kitchen goes very quiet. I hear the hum of the refrigerator. The neighbor's dog 2 houses down, barking at nothing. "She's building a domestic violence case," Trudy says. "Against you." I've never raised my hand to her. Not once in 14 years. Never raised my voice. That's exactly why she needs the recordings, Darnell. She needs you to snap. Just once, one outburst on camera, and she has her restraining order. She gets the house. She gets the narrative. She gets everything. The provocations aren't fights. They're additions. She's trying to get you to perform. I hang up. Stand at the kitchen sink. Water's not running. Nothing's running. My hands are flat on the counter, and I'm looking at the backyard through the window. The fence I rebuilt last summer. The garden bed Wanda said she wanted and never planted. The October sky going gray over the neighbor's roofline. I stand there long enough for the light to change. Long enough for the coffee maker to click off. Then I pick up the phone and call Jasper Wardlaw. Trudy recommended him. Family law, 15 years, the kind of attorney who doesn't say more than he means. "Mr. Varner," Jasper says after I lay everything out, the recordings, the provocations, the life coach, the Facebook group. What you're describing is a manufactured narrative. I've seen this before, the escalation coaching, the documented provocations. It's designed to produce a single moment of reaction that gets reframed as a pattern. What do I do? Exactly what you've been doing. Give her nothing. And let me build what she doesn't know I'm building. How long? A few weeks. Maybe less. Keep your routine. Keep your voice where it is right now. Can you do that? Jasper, I spent 2 years in a place where people try to make me react with a lot more than a thermostat. I can do this. Sunday night. VFW Hall. Otis and I are at our usual table in the back corner. The one with the wobbly leg he never lets anyone fix because it keeps you honest. TV on the wall is running some panel show, arguing about the housing bill, families losing their homes to foreclosure while Congress plays chicken with the debt ceiling. Otis deals the cards. I hold cold coffee and watch the screen without seeing it. Tell me, Otis says. No preamble. He knows. She's trying to get me to lose it. I say. The recordings, the provocations, the life coach telling her exactly how to push. All of it pointed at one thing. She needs me to snap so she can file a restraining order and take everything. Otis doesn't look up from his cards. But she married a man who survived interrogation resistance training. Yeah. So she's operating from bad intelligence. I take a sip of cold coffee. She trained on wine nights, Otis. I trained at Fort Benning. She doesn't know the difference yet. She will. He plays his card. I play mine. 2 old soldiers in a VFW hall while the TV argues about housing and the world keeps turning around people who don't understand what patience really costs. Jasper works fast and quiet. Screenshots of the Facebook posts, documented with timestamps and metadata. Trudy provides a sworn statement about what she found and how she found it. Jasper contacts Margot Upchurch's licensing board, and here's where the whole thing opens up like a cracked foundation. Margot isn't just a life coach dispensing bad advice over wine. She's been systematically coaching women to escalate emotional environments to establish documented patterns. 3 other cases. 3 other husbands who never raised a hand, never raised a voice. 2 of them lost their homes. 1 hasn't seen his kids in 8 months. The spring cleaning. The provocations. The life coach. The phone always recording. It was coordinated from the start. Wanda wasn't falling out of love with me. She was building a case against me, brick by brick, with a blueprint drawn by a woman who'd done it before and gotten away with it. I don't tell Wanda any of this. I cook dinner. I hang my shadow box back up when she takes it down a second time. This time she put it in the hall closet behind the vacuum. I find it, carry it to the living room, hang it on the nail. She watches me from the kitchen doorway. Why do you keep putting that thing back, she says. Because it's mine, and it goes there. It's a box of old pictures, Darnell. It's not a shrine. You're right. It's not a shrine. It's a record of what I survived so we could have this house and this life. And it goes on that wall. She opens her mouth, closes it, walks away. For once, no phone in sight. Some arguments aren't worth recording, the ones where he's right and she knows it. Every night, I look at that deployment photo and think, you survived worse than this, Varner. Actual danger. Real threat. This is just someone who underestimated you. The week before our anniversary, Wanda changes tactics one more time. Soft Wanda returns. She suggests dinner, at home, just us, the anniversary. Like old times. I'll cook, she says. Your favorite. Sure, I say. She smiles, and I see something behind it that I used to mistake for love. Now I recognize it, anticipation. The look a card player gets when they're about to lay down what they think is the winning hand. Anniversary evening. Wanda sets the table, candles, the good plates, cloth napkins she found somewhere in the back of the cabinet. The kitchen smells like the rosemary chicken she made on our first anniversary, back when we were broke and happy and everything felt like the beginning of something. And there on the front porch swing, Arlene Goodwin, just getting some air. Within earshot of every open window. Wanda pours wine. She starts slow, how much she appreciates me, how the last few months have been hard for both of us, how she wants to find their way back. Her voice is warm, measured, practiced. Then the gears shift. But I need you to hear me, Darnell. Really hear me. The metal's in the box. That wasn't about disrespecting you. It was about making space for us. For who we are now, not who you were 20 years ago. Okay. And the way you just sit there. The silence, the control, it makes me feel like I'm living with a wall. I married a man, not a fortress. I hear you. Her voice starts climbing. Do you? Do you really? Because sometimes I think you don't feel anything. The debt. I never asked you to pay my parents' debt. You did it on your own, and then you expected me to be grateful forever, like I owe you something. That's not love, Darnell. That's what husbands do. There it is. Her own words from the couch with Arlene, served back to me at my own anniversary dinner. I take a bite of chicken. Chew. Swallow. The rosemary is perfect, just like you used to make it. Are you even listening to me? Every word. Then respond. Show me you're in there. Show me something real. She's on her feet now, breathing hard, voice cracking, and her eyes flick to the phone on the shelf behind me. Quick. Practiced. The red light is on. Arlene is on the porch. Margot's playbook says the climax comes when the husband raises his voice. The recording is rolling. The witness is in position. All she needs is one moment, one crack in the wall. I set down my fork. Wipe my mouth with the cloth napkin. Look at her. Really look, the way I haven't allowed myself to in weeks. She's flushed, eyes bright with manufactured urgency, hands gripping the edge of the table. Months of work have led to this chair, this table, this night. The spring cleaning, the thermostat, the garlic, the boots, Margot, the barbecue humiliation. Every single provocation was a step on a staircase leading here. She picked the wrong target. She married a man who once sat in a room for 16 hours while trained professionals tried to break him. Fort Benning didn't teach me to be cold. It taught me to choose when to speak. I know about the Facebook group. I say, quiet, level, like I'm reading weather data. I know about the restraining order. I know Margot Upchurch coached you on escalation tactics. And I know Arlene is sitting on that porch right now as a witness to the outburst you've been trying to manufacture for 3 months. The color leaves her face. Not gradually, all at once, like a switch flipped somewhere deep inside her. What are you? I don't know what you're talking about. 14 likes on your post, Wanda. How long do recordings need to be for a restraining order? Asking for planning purposes. Arlene's comment. Document everything, Queen. Her mouth opens, closes, opens again. For the first time in months, she has no script. I don't perform for cameras, Wanda. But Jasper Wardlaw does. She sinks into her chair. The candles flicker in the silence between us. Outside, I hear the porch swing creak, Arlene shifting her weight. She can hear every word through the window. But these aren't the words she was prepared to witness. It's not, you don't understand. It's not what it looks like, Wanda whispers. It's exactly what it looks like. You boxed up my service and called it spring cleaning. You recorded every argument from an angle I wasn't supposed to see. You brought a woman into our home who's run the same operation on 3 other families, 3 other men who never raised a hand, Wanda. 2 of them lost their homes. Her licensing board has the files. Something real cracks through the performance. Her chin trembles. Her hands are shaking. Not the kind of shaking you perform, but the kind that happens when the ground you were standing on disappears. I was scared, she says. Arlene told me. She said this is how you protect yourself. That every woman needs an exit plan. Margot said, protect yourself from what? From a man who spent 18 months working side jobs, weekends, overnights, to pay off your parents' $40,000 debt? From a man who cooks your dinner every single night and wraps it in the microwave because you can't be bothered to sit at the same table? Tell me, Wanda, what exactly were you protecting yourself from? She presses her hands flat on the table. Tears on her face, not the kind that come with performance. Not the kind that check to see if you're watching. The real kind, the kind that come when you realize the story you told yourself was a lie. You could have talked to me. I say, any night. Any one of those nights you sat on that couch with Arlene, building a case against a man who would have walked through fire for you. You could have just said, Darnell, I'm not happy. 5 words. And I would have listened. I would have sat right here at this table and listened until you were done. That's the part one can't get past. You chose the camera over the conversation. The candles burn down. Arlene's porch swing goes silent. What happens now? She asks. Her voice is barely there. Jasper filed the paperwork yesterday. You'll be served Monday. Darnell, please. You wanted to reclaim your space. That's what Margot told you, right? Reclaim your space. I look at her across the table, the candles, the good plates, the rosemary chicken growing cold. Consider it reclaimed. I stand up. Take my plate to the kitchen. Wash it. Dry it. Put it away. Same as every night. Because discipline isn't something you turn on when it's convenient. It's the thing that holds you together when everything else falls apart. Next morning, 5 a.m. Coffee on. Shadow box on the wall, medals, photos, unit patch. Right where they've been for 15 years. Wanda comes downstairs in her robe. Stops at the bottom step. By the front door, her suitcases. Packed. A label in my handwriting, spring cleaning. She stares at the suitcases. At the shadow box on the wall. At me. I take a sip of coffee. That's what husbands do, I say. Until they don't. 3 weeks later. New locks on every door. Same house. Jasper handled everything clean. Margot's pattern made the proceedings straightforward. Her licensing board opened an investigation. Arlene's husband reached out. She'd run the same playbook on him. Same wine nights, same recordings, same script. He wasn't as lucky. Lost his house. Spent 4 months proving he wasn't the man they made him look like on paper. I sit on the porch some evenings after work. October turns into November. The air gets sharp enough to feel in your lungs. I drink my coffee and think about a woman who used to steal peppers off my cutting board and laugh like the world owed us nothing but time. VFW Hall. Tuesday night. Otis deals the cards. On the TV behind the bar, some Adam Sandler movie is playing with the sound barely on. A few guys at the bar are laughing at a scene I can't hear from back here. How you doing? Otis asks. Still standing. Most days, that's enough. He plays his card. I play mine. The shadow box hangs on the wall at home, right where it belongs. Some things, once you put them back, you don't let anyone move again. Dear listeners, that's our ending. If it resonated, subscribe to support the channel. See you next time.